know everyone is so busy. I know it's still beautiful here in Dallas. We're still doing soccer and baseball, and there's football going on. There's all kinds of stuff. Everybody's busy. We really appreciate you taking out some time on your Sunday evening to join us on the PURGE call. So thank you very much. We truly believe that this is the silver bullet in your business to have structure and know what you need to do every single day, whether it's 15, 20, or 30 minutes a day, every single day, to know what you're going to do and be consistent and persistent about it. So we want to make sure you work right along with us. Make sure you have your pen and your pad handy, your list of 10 and your calendars open. And like I said, you can work right along with us. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our host, if you're not familiar with this gentleman. Richard is an executive consultant in our business. He has earned his way onto a 5-star trip. He has been on the cover of Success from Home magazine. He's also a businessman in his own right. He's owned several restaurants. He also had a graphic design business. He sold for several $1 million. And he owns a music box business. He's a musician as well. So he's very well versed not only in Ambit but in business as well. He is extremely creative. He is the one that's brought us the PURGE call and the 3x4. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce my dear friend and mentor, Mr. RIchard Laidler. Richard, are you there?
Hello, you lovely. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Fantastic. Did you actually manage to get some rest? Because I know you've been crazy this week.
Yeah, I did. I finally got some today. Thank you.
So the kids weren't bothering you saying, hey, Mum, where's the dinner? Hey, Mum, where's the breakfast? Hey, Mum, hey, Mum, hey, Mum.
Oh, of course they were, yes.
Oh, well, as ever, thank you very much for emceeing the call. You do a wonderful job. I got to practice what you do because during the week we had a little bit of a hiccup, and I ended up emceeing the call and being the person doing it. And it's not as easy as it looks. You make it look so easy, so thank you very much. You're the best.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, well, here we are, 8 o'clock down here in Dallas, 9 o'clock for you lot up there in New York. Yes, that includes you, Rebecca. And for those of you in California, you're still finishing your lunch. So there we go. Here we are, Sunday night. And give yourself a pat on the back and give yourself a big congratulations for taking out an hour to prepare your week. Because as Michelle was talking about on the kind of pre-call stuff that we do, she was saying that, it's all about making sure you plan your week. Because I promise you, if you don't plan your week, there's a good chance that you won't find the spare time you're hoping to find. So what we want to do is make sure. I mean, can you imagine saying, when you're at school or when you were at school, if you said, on Monday morning, you thought, I really should think about going to school this week. Don't think that would have happened. You have to go. It's like your job tomorrow morning. I dare you, when you wake up, get out your jammies, put your teddy down, get yourself a cup of tea, and get yourself ready for work, and say, you know what? I think I might go to work maybe a little bit this week. Doesn't work, does it? Yet, and then everybody on the call, I guaranteed, pretty much graduated from high school. And the reason why you graduated from high school was because you showed up. Because you couldn't say, well, maybe I'll go to school. No, you just did. You have to. And that's why you were successful. And trust me, graduating high school is way harder than an Ambit business. What is it? Maths, physics, chemistry, biology, the periodic table, conjugating verbs, fractions, dealing with bullies, dealing with teachers you don't like, all that stuff, right? And in Ambit, we gather a couple of customers and help 3 other people do the same and then teach them to repeat it. Not really very comparable in how hard it is to do. And also at school, it gets harder and harder and harder every year. In Ambit, it gets easier and easier and easier. The hardest day you ever have in your Ambit is your first day, and the second day, and the third day. As you get a little bit better, it gets a little easier. And you hear all the time when you're an RC, you do exactly the same thing as you did as an MC. You're just a bit better at it. And then when you're an SC, you just did what you did when you were an RC and an MC. You're just a little bit better at it. But also, you have a whole bunch of people in your team who are building your business as they build their business. So when you compare things like all that high school stuff compared to what you do in your Ambit business, way harder at school, and yet everyone in school graduated. But 85% of people in AMBIT quit. Seems to be a little bit of a mismatch there. And the mismatch is exactly what Michelle was talking about before we started the call, and that's having a prepared week. Just show up. Just show up to your AMBIT business, and you'll do fine. You don't have to be brilliant at what you do. You don't have to be a fantastic inviter. The better inviter you are, the more chances you're going to have to show the plan. But when you have that situation where all we need to do is to get 2 or 3 customers and then teach 3 people to do the same thing, it's really not very difficult to do. So all you have to do is show up. Even if your invite was, hey, could you do me a favor, have a look at this video and tell me what you think. If that was your invite, if you did it enough times, a couple of times a day, every day, you'll find your 3 people. Compare that to school. And with school, what's the reward? You graduate from high school and go to college, and if you're lucky, you'll get a job that you're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or maybe even 6 days a week for 40 years, if you're lucky to stick with one job. By the way, did you know the average number of jobs that people have now, well, this was a couple of years ago, probably be the same. The number of jobs you'll have in a lifetime is 11 jobs. Back in the in our parents' heyday, like back in the 50s and 60s, you'd have 1 or 2 jobs, but now it's like at least 11 jobs. So you've gone to high school, you've gone to college, you do all this stuff, right? You do all this hard work to be rewarded with dedicating pretty much most of your free time to building someone else's dream. And that's reward. Whereas with AMBIT, gather a couple of customers, 2 or 3 customers, find 3 people who want to do the same thing, 3 people who are sick and tired. You could pretty much throw a rock at the front of your house and find those 3. And at the end of that is financial freedom for the rest of your life. Is it even close? I think not. So, and I think I would even go as far as to say I know that the difference between having success in AMBIT and not is showing up. Just showing up. It's easy to do this business right. It's easy to do this business wrong, but it's easiest of all not to do it at all. It's so easy to be busy with your stuff you do all the time. So I'm on the soapbox a little bit here, but I was training a couple of new consultants today, and it really, every time I give this training, it really hits home. All you need to do is get yourself your 2 or 3 customers, and then find 3 people who want to do the same thing as that and plug them in. Look after them. Take care of them. I know a few are going to fall by the wayside, but find your 3 and teach them to do the same as you did. Get 2 or 3 customers and find their 3 people. Just keep repeating. The roadmap, the secret roadmap, is in the business presentation that we watched. So hold on a second. I'm just taking a – thank you very much. That was my son. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox because I want to get on with the call, but I want that to sink in with you guys. For all of the stuff that we do in our training, and I know we've had some trainings around the country, when you really narrow it down, all you really need to do is to plug into your upline and then just show up to work. Just make sure you show up to work, and that's what this call is all about. It's about making sure you show up to work, putting an hour into your day today to plan your week. As we explained last time on the call, and this is our 2nd week, and I'll cover that in a second, but we build our written list. We score it using the ERICA system, which is so that all the good people get to the top of the list. And then we create some invites with our accountability partner, which we did on the call last week, showed you how to do that. And for those of you who listened into the accountability calls during the week, because I do accountability calls and I record them, and I put them all on the EC Writers Facebook page so you can listen to them and listen to my lovely, wonderful English dulcet tones on the way to work or on the way back or whatever, however you want to do it, and listen. And I'm telling you, those accountability calls are way better coaching than we do on these Sunday calls because they're real. They're what happened yesterday and how we dealt with it. But that's all you're needing to do is to make sure that you do these few simple things, couple of calls a day. So you've done your written list, you've scored it using the ERICA system, which I actually posted how to score that. I did that. I put that up on the Facebook page. Once you've got that, you've got your top 10 on a Sunday. Last Sunday, we got our top 10 names. We created the invites for them, and then we do 2 invites a day. 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way through the week. Just 2 invites and 1 accountability call in the evening to your accountability partner. And my guest this week, I was the accountability partner. She called me every day. And we did it, and that's it. We got 10 calls out there. We don't care if they joined or not. All we're doing is we're making it available to people. Some people will reach out and take it from you. And you'll find your 3. We did 10, right? So we did 10 calls, 10 invites, and we'll do 10 invites next week and 10 invites next week. It's just 10. It's just 2 calls a day, guys. I mean, you want your Ambit business to work, right? You started an Ambit business so it would work, so you could be financially free. So let's agree that you're going to do something. Don't feel disheartened when I tell you we're making a couple of invites a day. That's okay. This is going to get you out of your job. This is going to get you out of your debt. This is going to get your kids through college. This is going to pay the college debt. This is going to get the mortgage paid. This is going to give you a life of freedom. I'm financially free. I'm not rich from Ambit. I'm a rich person because I have great friends in most of you chaps actually on the call, but I have great family. I'm rich in that way, but I'm not rich in Ambit. I'm not driving a Ferrari or anything like that, but all my bills are paid whether I work or not thanks to this business. I didn't have that with my restaurants. I didn't have that with my business I sold for a couple of $1 million. I didn't have financial freedom then because I had massive expenses. Now I've got a business that cost me $75 that has made me totally financially free. I want you all, just for 10 seconds, imagine not having to go to work tomorrow because all of your bills are paid. Feel pretty good? Nice little warm feeling in your tummy. See? That's what it's like every day. And all you have to do is show up to work, 2 calls a day, get yourself your couple of customers, 2 or 3 customers, find your 3 consultants, teach them to do the same thing, and that is the roadmap to absolute freedom. We get one chance at this lifetime. Why not make the best of it? Okay, I'm off my soapbox. All right, so now I'm going to get to my guests. Well, last week we had regional consultants Sandra Louther on the call. She came on. We checked. She had a written list. She did all that. She had a top 10 names that she brought and told us what it was, and we created as many invites as we could in the time we had on the call. And then during the week, she made the calls, and she then called me in the evening to let me know how the calls went. Those were recorded, as I say, and they're on the Facebook page. And now, so we went Monday through all the way through Friday. She had a great week, and now we're at the following Sunday. So this is what you guys need to be doing, whether you are the person who's doing the calls or whether you're the accountability partner. This is the second week for that person. And so we need to look at what happened last week. Those people who said yes, we need to make sure that we plug them into the system correctly. Make sure they're plugged into your team calls, your team trainings, the local business presentation, all of that type of thing. The people who were maybes, what we need to do with them is make sure we get them to a yes or a no. We're not going to try and convince them to a yes. We're going to give them the information they need to make a decision that's right for them at this time. And that's usually a 3-way call or a second look at the business on a business presentation, something like that. But the maybes are going to become a yes or a no. We don't want them to stick as a maybe, so we have to deal with them next week because we want a nice, clean, fresh sheet for next week. Okay, that's the plan. That's why we call this the purge call, because we're purging that list. And then the people who are no, most people, 99% of people who are no, are really saying not yet. The timing's not right for me, or I don't get it right now. But, you've had your opportunity. And what we do is we put those people on a drip list. If they were people we couldn't reach because we kept getting voicemail, we're going to give them a call back in a couple of months. If they were people we reached and we showed the business to them and they were a not yet, but I'll become your customer or give you referrals or whatever, we're going to deal with them. We're going to give them a call back in somewhere with 5 or 6 months from now, so make sure you do a drip list. Okay, and then so everybody's always going to get a call, even if they say no, 6 months down the line. And that's a call which is just an update. Hey, if I was giving you guys a call back after 6 months and you saw it before, say, hey, listen, Joe, and Joe, you're on the call. I see you on the call. Hey, Joe, listen, I just wanted to give you a quick call. I wanted to kind of let you know where I'm at with my Ambit business. We talked about it 6 months ago. Things have been really going very well for me. I know it may still not be right for you right now, but I'm a professional. I just want to keep people updated with what's going on because you never know what's going on in people's lives. But and then I tell them 3 changes, what's changed for me. So initially I'll say, but since we spoke last 6 months ago, I've been promoted in the business. I've made a bunch of money, and so I'm really happy about that. I've got a whole bunch of people in my team now, so I'm really excited about that. With Ambit's now moved into Japan. We've actually moved into Canada as well, which is really exciting. We've grown from 1.3 to 1.4 million customers, or whatever the changes are. So we're talking about the change in ourselves, then the change in Ambit, and then we're going to go to the change in, or the possible change in them. I'd say, hey, Joe, now listen, I don't know what's happened for you in the last 6 months, but I'm giving you a call to see if it would be appropriate to take another look at the business. Nice and gentle. And that's how we will readdress people in 6 months from now. Okay, so that's what we do with our drip list. But now what I'm going to do is, Sandra, I'm going to bring her on the call. We're going to debrief the week, and then we're going to make sure we have a nice, clean plate for next week. And that's what you guys, whether you are the accountability partner or whether you're the person doing it, that's what you do for your folks. You go through the 10 calls, the 10 invites that they did, and we turn them into the yes, the maybe, or the no, or turn the maybe from the yes or a no, and then the no's you put on the drip list. So hopefully that all makes sense to you. If you have any questions, by all means text me. My number, and ladies, please don't take advantage of this. I know, I constantly get calls 11:30 at night. You girls, come on. What do you think I am? My number is 214-766-4613. Again, 214-766-4613. If you've got any questions, text them to me, and if I get a chance, I'll answer them while I'm dealing with Sandra on the call. But let's first of all get Sandra onto the call so we can talk about our week. We've had a fantastic week, by the way. This girl is a changed Ambit consultant from Monday to Friday. The change was dramatic, and I'll let her talk about that. But every one of you who are on this call listening in can have the same week. Either you can come on the call and be my victim. I'd love to have you on the call, and text me if you want to be my victim, so I can do the same for you that I did for Sandra this week. And but if you apply this to your week, you can have a great week every week like this week as well. And so Sandra had probably one of her best weeks. But let me tell you this: it was nothing to do with me. It was to do with the fact that I was there. That's all. And because I was there, she had to make the calls. And because she had to make the calls, some people said, yeah, I'll take a look. That's all there is to it. Everybody on the call knows what to do. You just don't do it. But if you got an angry, bald, fat Englishman at the end of the line waiting for that, accountability call at the end of the day, you're going to make your calls. And if you make your calls, you'll find your 3. So with that being said, regional consultant Sandra Louther, are you there, my lovely? Please say yes. Okay, Sandra, did you hit the host code? Okay, please. I saw you on the call. Let me see if you're on here. Bear with me, guys. We always have these little technical issues. Sandra, where are you, lovely? Let me see if I can find you. I see you there. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Can you hear me now, Richard?
I can hear you now, yes. I just hit the unmute. There you are, Sandra. Hi, how are you?
Sorry about that. That was my fault, not yours. Sorry.
Don't worry, I always mess it up. What's that, lovely?
I said, I am here.
Fantastic. Well, welcome back. So I'm getting people texting me, so I want to keep my eyes on the text while we're going through this. So, Sandra, how was your week? How was it?
Oh, Richard, my week was so exciting. It was so productive. Yes, it had a lot to do with you. And, yes, knowing that I had to answer to you did make me pick up that phone and make a couple of those calls. But, you have helped me so much. You've given me so much invaluable personal training. I can't thank you enough. It's just been very insightful, and it definitely has gotten easier and easier. Each time I've called to make the invite, I have felt more confident. I've, just felt more assured of myself of what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, and becoming a little more relaxed with the invite. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That's very kind of you to say so, and I do appreciate that. And for those of you who want to see the difference, listen to the Monday accountability call, again, on EC Riders' Facebook page, and listen to the Friday one, and listen to the difference, because we were creating invites still, and the difference in not only what Sandra said, but also the way she said it. You know, she was, when you heard her say, sorry, I'm talking to you in the third person, I'm sorry, Sandra, but I'm talking to everybody else on the call as well. And we got a bunch. We're pushing towards 3 figures. So great. Thanks for you guys all getting on the call. The point is, when you heard Sandra say, I felt more confident. And what's important about that is that comes across on the phone when you're making your invite. When you've planned an invite, when you've written the invite down, not as a script, but it's there for you. So on Monday morning, because we've done the written list and all the 10 names and the 10 invites, on Monday morning you've got a piece of paper there with 10 names and 10 invites written down next to it. Let me tell you, that is really, really empowering for your week. You think, that's my Ambit week. As opposed to, like I was saying earlier, I really should do something with my Ambit week. I'm telling you, that little thing, guys, all listening out there that are not getting ahead like you would, that's the difference. If you do that and you're, look at yourself in the mirror, find a mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and look at yourself and say, is my business going the way I want it to go? And I'm telling you, the majority of you, it won't be. And I'm telling you the reason why that is not your skill set. It's the fact that you're not showing up to work. And so that's what I'm saying. You show up to work, you get the invites down, written down. It's so empowering on Monday to have those invites written down and be practiced with them and have that confidence that Sandra talked about. So, again, I'm on the soapbox still a little bit, Sandra. So let's talk about your week. Let's kind of go through the focus that you had, the good, the bad, the ugly, and let's kind of let people know how things went and how we dealt with it.
All right, great. So Greg was the first one on my list, the one that the phone weighed the heaviest to call Greg. And I got on the phone. I had my prepared script in front of me, and I just went with it. And, didn't read it word by word, just tried to relax and got the appointment set up with Greg. So that's a check.
I was jumping around when you told me that. I was literally jumping around the room when we had that on the accountability call, because I know you were petrified to call him because he was, he's this business owner, and we all have this preconceived idea of what we think business owners are. We think they're not going to be interested, or they're going to think we're stupid, or all of these fears that go through our head. But if the invite's done right and respectfully, like yours was, and if you want to hear what that invite was, listen into last Sunday's call or the Monday call, and you'll hear how to approach a business owner. And you did it, and he really appreciated it, and you've got the opportunity to show the plan.
Absolutely. And, I had that personal light bulb moment when I realized that I do not have to be intimidated no matter who I speak to, because what I have in my hands is very valuable. This isn't about me or my past failures or successes. This is what I have to offer them is very valuable. And so go with confidence. If they say no, fine, move on to the next person. But I thank you, because that happened in our texting back and forth, and I just got that revelation. So I have to look at that now and then as I go to the next call and go, remember, what I have is of great value, and it's up to them whether they see it or not. So that was huge
Agreed.
for me.
Okay, so let's go. Let's move on.
Okay, so Gary actually needed to send him the video right then and there. We couldn't pinpoint a time. He was in his office. I sent it. He's extremely busy, and I knew to kind of take a step back, let him breathe a little on it, and I'll be calling him in 2 weeks. We're going to revisit it. I told him I'll call. I'm going to call with a leader, and we'll revisit it. So that was another one that was, I was concerned that he would, receive me well, and check. We got that one done.
And you know what you did right with that one that was so right was, again, sometimes we're under pressure. We feel that our ECs or SCs want us to push to get that appointment. But the time wasn't right for this guy. He was super busy, right? We all have times like that. And you know what it's like when someone is trying to get you to look at something else. You just don't have the brain space for it. And so inherently what you did so well was you say, you know what? Let's wait a couple of weeks. Patience. Just patience. Just give the guy the time to get settled what he needs to do, and then you'll talk in a couple of weeks. That's perfectly fine. It shows that you have respect for his time, and he'll have respect for what you've got to show him, because you weren't trying to ram it down his throat. You did that really well. Guys on the call, be patient. Don't feel that everything has to be rushed. If it's not the right time for that person to have a look at it right then, say, look, you know what, it sounds like the time's not right, and that's perfectly fine. How about I give you a call in a couple of weeks, and let's readdress it right then. It's really empowering to do that, and very respectful of the other person on the other end of the line. So good job on that.
Thank you, and got a great teacher. So my next person was Brian, and same thing with him, busy, and at first, he wasn't real responsive to me, but I kept my posture, I kept my script going, and with him it was a timing thing as well. I couldn't pinpoint a time, and I know this isn't textbook correct, and but I just had to go with my gut feeling and make sure that I just kept that pressure off. And so he did ask me to send the video, and and I know a lot of people are going to cringe, maybe even some on my team, but I did send it without the exact appointment. And what I had told him, that if I didn't hear back from him by Tuesday, I would call him, and he agreed that when he's ready to sit down with his wife in the evening to look at it, he's going to give me a call, let me know he's ready. He knows that I'm going to call him afterwards. And, I just felt, like I said, I know it's not textbook perfect, but for him, I feel like it worked. I showed him that respect. And the more we talked, the more he started to be more comfortable and was like, okay, well, maybe, let me look at this. So, like I said, not textbook correct, I guess you could say, but he's going to look at it, and I'll revisit with him. And I know him. I've known him a long time. So, I don't know what to say about that, but I feel like I got that appointment, and I will visit with him. So,
with that one, you're right. We don't usually want to send the video without a time set. Sometimes people, and the way I get around that is people say, oh, just send me the link. And I'll say, well, so I never really refer to it, oh, I'm going to send you the website. I always say I'm going to send you a visual presentation, because a visual presentation doesn't click necessarily with a www. So when I talk about I want to get a visual presentation across to you, so I need you to be by the computer so I can get it, so I can make sure you receive the file. Whereas if you say I want to send you a website, then they'll say, oh, just give me the link and I'll go check it out. Then you've got that kind of awkward situation where I don't want to send it to you until I've got a time set up. So by calling it a visual presentation, it just helps you a little bit. But quite rightly, the right way to do it is to say, well, when are you going to be by a computer? I'll send you the website. But he was a little pushy on saying, well, look, just send it to me. I'll give it a look. I promise I'll give it a look. I just don't have time right now. And so my point, what I respect is you made a decision. Now, it's not usually what we would do, but you made a decision. It's one guy, you made a decision, you did it, and you stuck with it because you were the person on the call. No one else was. I wasn't. Here I am coaching you. I was on the call. I didn't get the feel for it. You did, and I trust you that you made the right call on it. And it'll happen or it won't. We're not emotionally attached to it. You said you'd get back to him, so let's see how it pans out. That would be my comment on that one. Not perfect, but we got a decision made.
Well, I love that terminology that you used, and I did write that down. Visual presentation. That sounds so professional. I love that. And I do have to tell you, I did go when you're by your computer route. I feel like I reached for every possibility, and it just came down to either I'm going to send, and if I didn't send it to him now, and I call him next week, we'd go through the same thing. So we'll see. I'll be excited to come back and let everybody know that's listening that my Dr. Labus signed up with I guess I'm not supposed to say last name. Sorry. Brian signed up with Ambit, and I'll bring him to the meetings and introduce him to y'all. So we'll see. But yes, I get it. I will always restrain from doing that. That will not be a habit, and hopefully that's just one in a blue moon that I will do that. So, okay, so let's go down to Karen. I had an appointment with Karen Friday night, and once again I had to take the posture of the timing, and she had a lot going on in her life. She's in the middle of a move, and, this is a people business. And Karen needed an ear that night, and I could have shown her the video, but she was overloaded. And so we set an appointment on the 18th. I'm going to connect back with her on the 18th. She's even invited me to her home, and then we're going to do the video then. So that is an appointment, 2 appointments with her. And I built that relationship. I did not know her personally. So we got time to connect. So you want me to go to the next one?
One
Carol.
second, real quick on that one. 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. What you did there, what you did so right, and again for you, those of you on the call who constantly feel that there's pressure. Sandra was sitting with a girlfriend, and this girlfriend had a lot going on, and she just, as Sandra said, was just needed an ear to have someone listen to her as she, kind of vented with what it was. She didn't have the brain space for a business presentation. And so what Sandra did, which was so right, was to say, you know what, the business presentation can wait. I'm going to sit and I'm going to be a friend. And that's exactly, because she wasn't going to listen to the business presentation anyway, even if she'd had a chance to show it to her. And so that thing that we talked about with that call a couple of times ago is patience. It's okay. Be patient. It's a people business. If someone needs you to listen to their tough week, sit and listen to their tough week, and then just make a time in the future when the timing is better to have a look at the business. It's respectful to that other person. It's respectful to the Ambit business, and you give it the service that you don't do it a disservice. And it's respectful to yourself because you've got the power. You took the power away, and you were there as a good person. So I know there are other leaders out there that would have said, no, we've got to get through the numbers. No, we don't. We only need to find our good 3 strong people. We're more likely to find those 3 people if they like us and respect us and know that we respect their lives and their time. And you did exactly that. I think that was 100%. You did great on that. And that was all you're doing. It was nothing to do with me. You did great on that. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Carol, that was 100% no on that one. Remember, she works 70 hours a week and loves what she's doing and absolutely does not want to do anything else. So she pretty much closed the door on me.
You invited her to the business, right? So the invite was fine.
Yes.
Right?
Did the invite, yes.
And you got in front of her to show her the business?
No.
Okay.
I didn't get past the invite. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So what happened?
I got through the invite. So she just told me that what she does, she loves. She works 70 hours a week. She loves it. I'm welcome to send the video to her. She'll look at it when she gets on the plane, and just really made it very, very clear under no circumstances does she want to fit a single other thing in her life. So she was really, really firm on that. So I, graciously pulled back and said, I appreciate your time. And I went on to ask her if she's heard, at that point, asked her if she's heard of Ambit Energy. I would love to see if I could save them money on their energy bill. And then she went in to tell me that her husband does all the bills and she doesn't even know who they use. And she just kind of, got distracted with something else. So
you're getting fobbed off. Yeah, she's not interested. She's probably been asked to look at these things before. She's fobbing you off. There's a couple of routes you could go. One is to do what you did and see if you could get her as a customer, or just at least, I'd love you to see what I'm doing so you could refer. But she wasn't open. You were listening. She was closed, and when someone's closed like that, just say, okay, that's perfectly fine. Just wanted to make sure that I reached out to you and told you what I was doing. I really appreciate your time. Thanks very much. Take it away and move on. Right. You know when it's just someone who genuinely is busy but is open to listen, and when someone's genuinely busy and also trying to fob you off. And that's what that sounds like when you did that. So.
Right.
So good job on that.
Thank you. Okay, and then we have Jack. And Jack really threw me for a wonderful loop, gave him my, invite that I was prepared with right there in front of me. And when I asked him, and I apologize, I don't have Jack's invite in front of me, but the last thing I basically said was, I'm going to be over by your office on Monday at 10 and then again about 2:30. Which one of those times works for you? And he said, actually, 10:30 works. And, just immediately that was his response. And I was like holding back. And I was just like, well, thank you so much, Jack. I really appreciate that. And then I thanked him again. And when I got off the phone, I thought, don't thank him to a no, right? Don't be over. And I don't think I was too bad, but next time I'll be a little prepared that when I invite someone, they're going to say yes, so don't be surprised.
Yeah, so the lesson for that one is in the invite we go through our, we're in a hurry, we use that, we put out our why, we have a hook, we started a new business we're really excited about, the number 4 is having a couple of purposes. I want you to take a look at what I'm doing just so I can create some, awareness, and it may be something that, could be of interest to you. And then number 5 is the takeaway. Listen, it may or may not be your cup of tea, but then number 6 is what you're talking about, is be really, really, really intentional about setting the time. And I thought this was going to be the easiest thing when I started the Purge call about people being intentional about setting the time. But I too often hear people say, well, let's see if we can find some time at the weekend, or maybe at the weekend let's try to get together. No. You must be intentional. And the alternative close, which is an old-fashioned sales technique, and I don't usually like sales techniques, but this is one of the ones that has stood the test of time, is really good because it helps people make a decision. They're not thinking, should I or shouldn't I? They're thinking 10:30 or 2. And that's what you did so well. It was perfect. That is an intentional setting of the time, and people just go for it. It's not a trick. It's just helping them make a decision as to whether it's going to be 10:30 or 2, not yes or no. And so great job. Great job. That's really good. Well done.
All right, great. Okay, then Becky. Becky, I have left 2 messages for, and I honestly, just because of the relationship, I don't think she's avoiding me. I'm sure she's just very busy. So I've left 2 messages so far for her.
Okay, all right.
Catching her at a bad time. And so I think the first one was just, hey, Becky, this is Sandra. Just called. I forget exactly what I said to her, but I made it really quick. I'm in a hurry. I'm about to go into a meeting. I'll try you back a little later tonight, but if you get this message in the next 15 minutes, I told her what time it was. I said, give me a call, and I left my number. And then the second time, I think I basically just said, sorry, I didn't catch you. Again, here's my number. I just need to talk with you for a quick minute, so give me a call, or I'll check back with you next week or something like that.
Yeah, and that's fine. And the training for how to deal with voicemails is on one of the accountability calls. And while you're carrying on talking, I'm going to have a look and see which one it is. If you want to know how to deal with constant voicemails, it's on on the accountability calls. So I will find that and let you guys know which recording to listen to. So carry on for the moment, Sandra, and I'll look for that post on EC Riders. Go ahead.
All right. And then we have Donna, and I just had to leave a brief message for her. And then we have Joyce, and Joyce is a hairdresser, and I do need a haircut. And she's got some new children additions into her family, and I thought I could either try to call her today and touch base, or I could set up an appointment this week, get a haircut, kind of reconnect with her, let her share with me about these children that she's inherited or adopted, and just kind of reconnect with her because I haven't seen her for several years. And then at the end of the haircut, I'll address it appropriately, or as the conversation goes, there'll be a door to, set up a appointment with her. So I don't have that invite written down, but I'm going to be working on that, and I have an appointment with her on Wednesday afternoon to get my hair cut.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I want to do. We're about 39 minutes into the call, and how many other folks did you talk to this week?
We only have John, and he was one that he's the last one that I said I need to call on a Sunday, and I had a little family situation today, and I have not been able to work Ambit today, so he's got to go on next week. So that was it. That's all 10.
All right, but there were you had a couple of opportunities for a reactive invite during the week. Did you want to cover that real quick? Do you remember what a reactive call was?
Yeah, when I ran to the dollar store.
That's it, yeah. So
yeah.
guys, so real quick, so let me kind of introduce this because this is really important. you're going to find people to talk to about the business because you proactively go and find them, or they reactively fall into your lap. Remember the one phrase that I always ask you guys to write down and put on your bathroom mirror: if I hear pain, I will offer help. And so, and that is a reactive invite. That's when you're going about your day and you hear some pain, or you get an opportunity and you get the opportunity to show the business. And so I'm kind of introducing you there a little bit, Sandra. So let people know what happened, about how you got an opportunity to show the plan to someone who wasn't on your list.
So when I came out of the dollar store, my car wouldn't start. My battery, I've been having trouble with my batteries, which my husband replaced today. I needed a whole new battery. So I pull out my jumper cables, thinking maybe the person beside me will jump me or wait for someone. And one of the gals that works there came outside, introduced herself, and said, "Hey, I just called my husband. He's right there in that house. I live right there, and he works from home, and he's going to come give you a jump." And I said, "Okay." So, of course, when he got there, I thanked him, and I began to ask him what he did, and he told me, and I commented on their two little girls there and just, kind of chatted with them a little bit. And even though I felt a little uncomfortable, I went for it and just basically asked him, "Do you ever consider doing anything on the side to make some extra money?" And his eyes kind of lit up, and he said, "Yeah, I do." And I got their phone number, and he said, the next 2 weeks they're super, super slammed busy, but after that, and I said, "I will call you in 2 weeks. I'll come to your home and show you what I do." And it turns out their next door neighbor travels to Japan all the time.
Those little opportunities are always just hiding there, just peeping out, saying, "Come grab me, come grab me." That's great. But you see, it wasn't so much pain you heard, but what you heard was, "My husband works from home." And that was the key. You said, "Oh, there's an opportunity there." And just to say, do you keep, in a situation like that, it wasn't so much that there was pain, but you did just ask, "Hey, do you know what? Do you keep your options open for extra money?" It's great. The worst thing can be is he says no. And the best is he says, "Well, yeah." And you say, "Well, look, do me a favor, text me your email address, and I'll send you some information." Now, the texting of an email address, what does that give you as well? Their phone number.
Right.
It's not my trick. I wish it was. But I use it all the time, because if it's a waitress or something like that, I can't say, "Give me your number." But I can say, "Well, look, I've got some information for me. Do me a favor. I haven't got a pad or anything. Can you text me your email address, and I'll send you some information?" And then I've got her number, and I'm not going to send her any information via email. I'm going to call her and say, "Hey, you going to be by a computer anytime soon? I want to get you that information." Okay? Nice little trick there, guys. And girls, there you go. Now you know how sneaky us guys are, all right? So just now I've given you one of my tricks. Darn it. Gosh, darn it. That's it. All the girls on this call are going to know all my tricks now. Darn it. So there you go. But great job. So I want to move on because I want to be aware of the time. Let's have a look at your score. So we had 10 invites, and you can include this week your reactive invite. How many opportunities did you get to show the plan, or you're going to have to show the plan?
So that would be 6.
Okay, so 10 invites. Now, you haven't got through to them all. I understand that, but you've had 6 opportunities to show the plan. Okay, guys, listen to this. Listen to this carefully. On average, a person will join, as long as you're doing it right and as long as you have the right help from people, if you're doing it right, on average, for 10 times you show the plan, you will get a consultant. Okay? So for 10 times you show the plan, you'll get a consultant. So if, say, for example, let's say that your odds are worse than Sandra's. So you do 10 calls and 5 opportunities to show the plan. That means that you've got 5 opportunities to show the plan this week and 5 next week. That's 10 opportunities to show the plan. And what did I say? 1 consultant will join from 10 opportunities to show the plan. So that means every 2 weeks you'll have someone new joining your business. So that means you'll have your 3 consultants in 6 weeks. If you do this right, if you show up to work, if you use the right invites, if you have a good accountability partner who makes sure you do what you say you're going to do, Every 2 weeks, you'll bring on a new consultant. So in 6 weeks, you'll have your 3, which means in the next 6 weeks, those 3 will have their 3. If they do this structure. I don't understand. This is the thing I kind of get a little bit, come on, guys, this is all you need to do, and you'll have all the success of those yellow jackets. Because if you keep doing that, you will be EC within 12 months. Every single one of you on this call, I don't care if you are brand new, if you do this, the 2 calls a day, accountability call, blah, 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 she's like little man in there. No, sorry, EC in 12 months, guys. EC in 12 months. I'm an EC and I'm financially free. I'm sorry, but 12 months is freaking awesome. It took me 4 freaking years because I hadn't worked out this simple thing myself. I'm happy with 4 years. But you can all do this in 12 months if you just show up to work and do this. I'm on my soapbox again. Sorry, Sandra. So here we go. So you've got 6 opportunities to show the plan. So I want you to speak to those folks. There's a few people on the call that I've asked them to be my guest. And they're all like, oh, no, I'm not ready for that yet. Can you do me a favor? Because I know you were a little worried when we first spoke about it. You were a little nervous and this type of thing. Can you speak to those? Because some people think that they haven't been going long enough to warrant being on this call. It's nothing to do with how skillful you are. Could you talk to those folks and please let them know that I'm lovely and gentle, and it doesn't matter how long you've been in this business to really value that?
Absolutely. So Richard is very approachable, very helpful. You do not have to be connected to him financially. I felt like I was very nervous to get on here, but I knew that I was in good hands. He is a professional. He knows how to work these calls, and will help you along with it. And I tell you what, it's invaluable personal training. And if you really want your business to grow, then just take a leap of faith. Just step out, send him a text. He's given you his number, and let him know that you want to be the next victim. You want your business to grow, and you want his help. And so it is a huge opportunity, and it's nothing to be scared of. You'll create a lot of personal growth and help a lot of people, and it's just life-changing. So, it's catapulting me into how I need to run my business. Working from home, you can get in your rut and stay in your pajamas all day and not make the call. But if you want your business to grow, then you have to be very intentional. And this is great training to teach me to be intentional and to have that structure and just committed to it. And it doesn't really take long. I mean, how long does it take to make 2 or 3 calls a day? Once you get the script down, once you get comfortable, it just gets easier and easier. So you should have them lined up for the next year.
Let me ask you this, Sandra. How was this week compared to every other week you've had in Ambit? Was it a better week, a less week, or what?
Oh, my gosh, it was so much better. And it just made me be very intentional about making the calls, because before it was like, well, I'll get to this person or that person. It's making me work my list. It's making me progress a little bit faster. And it's just helped me so much that I'm not going to be intimidated to reach out to anybody. And it's been the best week, and it's just been invaluable training. I could just go on, and I'm very grateful to you. I thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity, and I just want to keep staying disciplined and keep doing the same thing. So you guys connect with Richard and let him help you out. He's great. He's not so scary.
Well, I just had Kathy Cower just drop me a text, because she was my victim 2 or 3 months ago, and she had a terrible week. That week that she was my victim, she had issues with her husband's health, and all sorts of massive problems. So she was on the call, she got stuff done, and now because her business is continuing to grow, despite all the issues with her husband, she's getting paid in this business with residual income so that she can deal with those types of issues. So again, it's one of those things. And let me ask you this: how much would you pay a successful coach for a week? How much would you pay for that, for them to give you their time to coach you through a business for a whole week? I would imagine it's probably hundreds or thousands of dollars, I would think.
I would say you deserve $1 million, so yeah, thousands of dollars for that. That's just one-on-one, and I was able to text you and ask you a question, and I mean, I just feel like you've been right there with me through the week, and even when we're not connecting, I know that later I get to talk to you, and you're going to help me through it, and you're going to help me tweak it, so it's invaluable.
All right, good. So there you go, guys. Whoever's a little nervous about getting on my call or being my victim, and you know who you are, Rebecca, give me a call.
And how about Bridget?
Oh, my God.
Do you see Bridget on there? Bridget is supposed
Yes, I
to
did.
be
Bridget texted me. Bridget texted me. Sorry,
Yay,
I know
Bridget.
you're like... Yes, absolutely. I know Bridget's going to be on my list. So I do want you guys to take advantage of this. Because I know that I can help you for that week. Well, guys, I want to bring the call to a close because I know we're going to be getting onto the national call any second. I want to make sure this call is Rebecca just texted me. I'm in big trouble now. Okay. So, guys, I just want to make sure that you have the details for the national call. So I'm going to look for that whilst we're just closing up here. First of all, Sandra, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for being so lovely all week. I really enjoyed our week. And I'm sad on my second Sunday because I've got this great relationship with people because we share intimate times for the weekend, and then all of a sudden I'm not going to be speaking to you quite as much. But thank you so much for being so vulnerable and so good.
I'm so sad, but I'm going to get on these calls so I can keep hearing your awesome voice.
Well, you say the sweetest things. Well, guys. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now, Sandra. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to finish up with those of you who are thank you so much. Right, guys, we're going to get on the national call in a second, but I've got on my soapbox a little bit, but there's a reason why, and it's because if I haven't rammed into you by now how simple this is, and that's all you have to do is just to get your 2 or 3 customers, find your 3 who want to work with you because you're going to be doing 2 calls a day. If you're not getting what I'm saying, please get on this call again because it'll fall on you one day just how simple it is. And because it fell on me today, and I've been doing this call for 2 years. With my consultants I was training 2 today, it really fell on me. My God, this is all of the... Sometimes you'll go to a training and it's 6 hours training. All of it's good stuff. But all you need is for me to tell you in 3 minutes, get yourself your 2 or 3 customers, get your written list, top 10 names, do 2 calls a day, an accountability call, and you'll find your 3. Remember, I've told you can find your 3 within 6 weeks if you do it this way, and that's with an average of 1 out of 10 people joining. If you've got a good cross-line or upline who do the presentations with you, you could maybe do 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. I'll sometimes have a 6 out of 10 week of people showing the business who actually join. There it is, that you'll find your 3 real quick. So simplify everything. All you need is your 3 customers to get yourself qualified and find your 3 consultants and teach them to do the same. The rest is noise. Okay? Just make sure you show up to work and you'll find out how to do that. Make sure you look at your calendar on Monday and go, I'm going to do a call at this time and a call at this time on Monday. Same on Tuesday, same on Wednesday. But have your written list, your top 10 names every Sunday. Keep doing this. If it's not sitting, totally true with you just yet, just keep getting on these calls every Sunday. They're live. I'm doing them live with all these lovely, wonderful people like Sandra and like Kathy and like all the other folks that I've had on these calls before. It's live and it's real. So please plug in. I'm so passionate about this because I know this is all you have to do. All right, guys, it's now 8:54. It's almost an hour. I know this is a long call, but I just think it's really valuable because it's real life training. The national call coming up in 6 minutes. The number for that call is 712-432-7570. Again, 712-432-7570. And then the PIN is 848-77#. Again, 848-77#. Guys, Text me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the call. My number, 214-766-4613. Again, 214-766-4613. I need to know from you guys if you liked the call, or if you've got any observations. If there's anything you would like to add or take away or whatever, let me know. Thank you, Sandra. That's lots of thumbs. Thank you very much. So just let me know. Guys, I really, really appreciate you getting on this call. Spread the word. Get your teams on this call. I'm going to train them for you. For goodness sake, you get them on the call. I'll do all the training for you, and so you can have them being successful in your business. All right. It's Michelle, if you're still on the line, if you wouldn't mind unmuting the lines so you can say goodnight to Sandra. And I will see you guys all very, very soon. Rebecca, I'm sorry to throw you under the bus, but boy, you are so going to be my victim on this call. I'm just saying. Guys, have a super week. Have a structured week. And do me a favor, show up to your ambit work. All right, guys, have a super nice.
Great job, Sandra.
Hey, awesome to hear from you, Sandra. I can't wait to see you Thursday.
Good job, Sandra. Good job, Richard.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard, good job, Sandra. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra and Richard.
Thank you.
Go score your 10. Get your list ready.
Hey, thanks, Richard, for Seagull.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Thanks, man. At least I've got a man on the call. I felt a little bit outnumbered.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, anytime, bud.
Yeah, I won't be texting at 11:30. Just let you know. Don't wait up.
Hey, I know. Gosh, I get a little inappropriate on the call sometimes, but I can't help but make myself chuckle.
All right, man. See y'all.
See you now.